Hey everyone, I hope you're well. Revenant is very likely to be the next legend in Apex Legends. Just like previously released Legends, Respawn has now teased Revenant to us well before their actual release. The Fight or Fright event was the first time we got to see Revenant, but actually, just like other Legends, again, leaks and datamines have circled around this character for a long time. I wanted to do an overview showcasing everything we know about Revenant so far, because, well, we haven't yet done it here in full, so here's what I'll do for this video. Firstly, I'll show off everything that's been shown about Revenant officially, and then we will take a look at Revenant's character in terms of lore, who they are, what we know, and how they might fit into the Apex games. Then we'll get into the juicy stuff, the leaked abilities, and so on. Now keep in mind that if you're not one for spoilers, you can stop watching when I start to get into that stuff. I'll make it very clear when I'm about to go into the spoiler stuff. Alright, so let's start with the stuff straight from Respawn. Officially, Revenant first appeared in the Fight or Fright event trailer. We were given little idea about who Revenant is, but he seems to be obsessed with death, vengeance, and, well, being spooky. Revenant didn't appear in-game, but we heard his voice lines. Here are some voice lines from Revenant as they announced different things.
The ring is moving. I like it when you all flee. You can't keep the dead asleep. Better start running. The shadows rise again. I love this part.
You can get an idea for their personality. If you thought Caustic was evil, you'd need to think again. Caustic looks like, well, a clown compared to Revenant in terms of the whole evil villain complex. Revenant is definitely very, very evil. We're not sure of Revenant's past or why they want to be a part of the Apex games, but I'm sure we'll find out very soon. So next, let's look at the lore for Revenant and then we can go into the leaked details. So first things first, it's very clear that Revenant shares an uncanny similarity with a character from Titanfall 2. That's Ashe. Now, what we can tell about Ashe, she is a simulacrum, so it's quite obvious to me that Revenant is also a simulacrum. Let me explain what that is. In Titanfall lore, a simulacrum is a digital copy of a pilot's memories, their personality, and essentially everything about them placed into a robotic body. So Revenant was pretty messed up before he died, and obviously now that he's a robot, essentially, he can live on freely forever and be even spookier and even more evil. Great stuff. It's common for a simulacrum to decorate themselves with cloth or other things from their past human life, sort of to hold onto it, so more on that in the spoiler side of the video. Unfortunately, besides this, we do not know anything more about Revenant in terms of lore or official information from Respawn, so it's time to get into the leaks and spoilers. Spoiler alert, my friends, you've been warned. This is your last chance to stop the video if you don't want to be spoiled. Okay, so let's now take a closer look at the juicy stuff. So first things first, a level designer for Apex Legends accidentally posted an image of Revenant in one of their map design images. I don't know what happened there, but the image was still up for a very long time before being taken down. So this is Revenant. It shares the same silhouette as the Revenant that we saw in the Fight or Fright trailer. Some people argued that this might just be a Pathfinder reskin, but I'm sure it's Revenant. Pay note to the claws, the skull mask, and overall head shape in comparison to the official artwork for Revenant. I wouldn't be surprised if Revenant goes through some visual changes before launch though. Either way, we have a great idea what Revenant looks like now. He could be a pain to hit, so he may be a low profile legend, but I'm not sure yet. Next, let's look at Revenant's abilities. Now, pay note, I'm going to be showing the most updated leaked files, so any other abilities you may have heard about here or elsewhere have now been changed. Remember though, all unreleased content is always massively subject to change. So Revenant is now known as the Synthetic Nightmare instead of the Nightmare Simulacrum. Basically the same thing, but again it's still subject to change anyway. So next let's look at Revenant's most up-to-date leaked abilities. Revenant has a number of abilities, more than the average legend, so we don't yet know what will be released to us at launch and which will be scrapped, or whether everything will be used. Revenant's first ability is called Mark for Death. You can fire a poison dagger, you can then press that ability again to reveal a target's location if you hit them with the poison dagger. You can ping the location up to 60 seconds, which is quite impressive. However, if a player heals to full, the tracking disappears. Next, we have Poison Bomb. The description for this is as follows. Launch a poison bomb, damages and slows target's hit. Then Infiltrator. You crouch, walk faster and climb walls higher. We also have Silence, throw a device that disables enemy abilities for 10 seconds. Finally, we have this whole Death Totem thing. Death Recall is the first ability related to it. Drop a totem that protects anyone who uses it from death. Instead of getting killed or downed, you will return to the totem with 20 health. Now, in past leaks, Revenant had a bunch of Shadow Form abilities in the files, but they are gone now. However, it still says in these files that Revenant can enter Shadow Form, so we'll have to wait and see what actually happens at launch with Revenant skills. So Revenant ends up being this sort of assault-based tracker legend. You are able to mark players and then silence their abilities. You can also slow players with the poison bomb, so I feel like you've got a lot of power to hunt players down. The Infiltrator ability is interesting too. If you didn't know, when you crouch walk, you're basically silent to other enemies, so by being able to walk faster, you will really be able to sneak up on people. I can imagine a lot of people getting frustrated with that, but I'm going to love it. The climb walls higher thing is interesting too. I wonder if we'll be able to scale the buildings in Capital City. It could have some value, but it won't ever beat the grapple, of course. I feel like Revenant is sort of a jack of all trades. They have a really powerful tracking ability, they have some good movement abilities, and they even have support abilities with the Death Totem. The Silence and the Poison Bomb abilities also work as some great crowd control and can definitely help you win third-party fights easier. Honestly, I still feel like there's too much going on here with Revenant's abilities, so I wouldn't be surprised if the final version is far more stripped back than this. So for anybody that's curious, I'm now going to go through what are essentially the Shadow Form abilities. So before, it was assumed that when you enter the Death Totem, you get a new set of abilities. Now, whether this will be in the final version or not, it seems less likely now, especially since the latest leak for Revenant's files don't have these anymore. So keep this in mind, these files are no longer in the game files, but I'll still explain them. So first we have Shadow Walk. Move silently and faster for 6 seconds, cooldown resets on kill. Then Shadow Door. Create a doorway through walls. Doorways last for 5 seconds. And Shadow Step. Send out a Shadow Revenant. Press again to teleport to the shadow. Cooldown resets on kill. So all of these abilities are very aggression focused. So if you get kills, your cooldowns reset. Being able to create doorways through walls is incredible. Being able to sort of send out what's essentially a bamboozle and then teleport to it is like a stronger mirage ability. I don't know if other players will be able to see it though, where you don't really know. So that's it. Those shadow abilities sound very strong, but I feel like if they have all of these abilities and all of the abilities in the non-shadow form, it's just a little too much, honestly. But who knows? Respawn may get absolutely crazy with this one, but for now, we'll have to wait and see. As always, don't expect any of these abilities to be at launch, but we can get an idea for what Respawn kind of has planned for this character in terms of their general kit and approach. I feel like the crouch one seems to make sense, being able to move faster whilst crouching. The proximity dart is really good, and so is the poison bomb, but who knows what's going to come by launch. We will, of course, have to wait and see what happens with Revenant. And for the many people that have asked me, yes, I know that the season is longer than usual, but that doesn't mean Revenant will come. I think it's best to expect that Revenant won't come and be surprised if he does than it is to expect Revenant will come. Don't do that. I don't want to get anybody's hopes up, so to make it easier, Revenant won't come this season. Sorry folks. Alright everybody, thank you so much for watching. What are your thoughts on Revenant? Could he be your next favourite legend? Honestly, I'm the most excited I've been for a legend so far. Octane was exciting to me, but Revenant sounds like the perfect mix of everything, and I love playing Caustic, Octane and Lifeline, so it's great to have a nice mix of mobility, crowd control and healing, and also some tracking as well. I was a little excited for Watson, and I was the least excited for Crypto due to their kit, so having a legend I actually want to play will be very refreshing, and Revenant is offering something that nobody else really has. Alright, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, and before I go, would you like to see me play Jedi Fallen Order on this channel? Let me know, or maybe we can just play it over on my live stream at twitch.tv/thegamingmerchant. Let me know your thoughts. I'll see you in the comments. Cheerio!